All right, let's take a look at this problem. So we have this equation here, polynomial, and it says, in the given equation, p is a constant. The sum of the solutions is equal to -5. What is the value of p? Now, when you see a problem that says the sum of the solutions, you should think of, negative b over a. Negative b over a is the sum of the solutions for a polynomial. Now, notice we have these in parentheses. Okay, so we use the zero product rule to solve for the solutions. Okay, so you have 2x plus p equals 0, 3x squared minus 48 equals 0, and 2x squared plus 7x minus 10p equals 0. Okay, we find the solutions for each of those and add them up. Those will be equal to the 5. Okay, so here, get the x by itself, subtract p from both sides, divide both sides by 2. Okay, so negative p over 2. Or here, add 48 to both sides, divide both sides by 3. Take the square root of both sides, x equals plus or minus 4. Okay, over here, now, for this, the hard way would be to do, the quadratic formula. But again, we can use our negative b over a, and it's going to end up just being -7 over 2. Okay, it makes it a little bit easier to even use the sum of solutions in this, the small part here. Okay, so then the sum of all those solutions should equal -5. Okay, so negative p over 2. Now, if I have plus or minus 4, that already adds up to 0, so I'm just going to disregard that. Okay, and then our minus 7/2. We want that to equal -5. All right, add 7/2 to both sides. Then we get -3/2. Okay, the 2's are the same here. So to match this, the p has to equal 3. Okay, so that's how we do this one. Set each of the parentheses equal to 0 using our zero product rule. Get the solutions of those, add them all together, and set it equal to our -5 and solve for p. Now, another way to solve this is if we could multiply this all out, then we'll have some polynomial, and then we could also use the negative b over a to solve it from there. Okay, now multiplying that all out would take a long time, but the a and b are only 2 terms of this. So what's going to be our highest exponent? The 2x times 3x squared times 2x squared will give us x to the 5th term. Okay. The next term would be x to a 4th term. So we really just care about the coefficients of those two. Those would be our a and our b. Okay. So you can figure out just what those would be without multiplying the whole thing out. That'll be enough information for us to solve it. Okay. So again, the highest one would be 2x times 3x squared times 2x squared. Okay, that would give us 12 x to the 5th. Okay, now get to the x to the 4th term. There's going to be 2 of those. Okay, one would be 2x times 3x squared times 7x. Okay, that'll give us the exponent of 5 under x. So 2x times 3x squared times 7x. That'll give us 42 x to the 4th. Okay. Another one to get the x to the 4th could be a p times 3x squared times 2x squared. Okay, and that'll give us 6p x to the fourth. Okay, so we need to combine x to the fourth. That'll give us 42 plus 6p. Okay, so now if we do our negative b over a, that's going to be negative 42 plus 6p over 12. That's going to equal the sum of our solutions, which is negative 5. Okay, multiply both sides by 12. Multiply both sides by negative 1, make them positive there. Okay, now just solve for p, subtract 42 from both sides, 6p equal 18. Then divide both sides by 6, p will equal 3. Okay, so if you can figure that out, that might be faster than the other method, but it's up to you to decide which one's faster for you. Okay, now could we do this in Desmos? Well, let's give it a try. All right, so we have that in there. Now I want the sum of the solutions equal negative 5, so I kind of have to do the solutions in here. Okay, so almost, the same way you did it the first method. So, 2x plus p, the solution there, subtract p from both sides and divide by 2. So that'll be negative p over 2. Okay. Now 3x squared minus 48. I can use the sum of the solutions there, negative b over a. Our b is 0, there's no x term. So it'll just be 0 over 3, which is just 0. Okay. So then the 2x squared plus 7x minus 10p. Again, negative b over a. It's going to be negative 7 over 2. Okay. So now I need to adjust my p-value so that this adds up to negative 5. Now, if p is not a nice number, this would be hard to do. Okay. If p was 1/3 or something like that, that'd be hard to, set our slider to 1/3 to make it work. If it's a nice integer, then this will work fine. Okay. So let's try it. So I'll make these integers, step 1. Okay, let's make it out to 15 or so. Now if I go up by 1, my sum is negative 4. Go up to 2, my sum is now negative 4.5. Go up to 3, my sum is negative 5. Okay, so that did work. Again, if p is a nice number, this would work out. If p is a small number, if it was, if p was 100, then you had to, adjust it until that it'd probably be harder to find. So this type of problem, maybe they'll make it easy on us, when you take the SAT for a nice integer number. But if this doesn't work, you have to go back and do it by hand, one of the algebraic ways. So again, I'm just showing you that you could do it in Desmos. It's probably not recommended. Only if it's a small integer number, it would work out fine. And you wouldn't take up too much time. But you want to avoid that and try to do it by hand as fast as you can to get the more exact answer. Okay. All right, so that is how you solve this type of problem. We're just using zero product rule. You can use some of the solutions on the x squared or more, or x squared or above terms in there. The second and third term there in the parentheses. You use some of the solutions for those to get the solutions. Then add all the solutions together. That equals negative 5, and then solve for your p-value. All right. Hope this video help you understand how to solve this type of problem. Goodbye.